I'm a member of G'vanim team for 2016, which was an outstanding experience for me to be exposed to the, first of all, to discuss the questions of identity, which I haven't touched on before. Identity of being Jewish in the US and specifically being Israeli in the US as a first generation. We were lucky to meet very interesting people that shared with us some history, some different viewpoints, educated us about the Jewish community in the United States in terms of history, social structure, and social activities, which was really an eye-opening for us. Coming from Israel with a very little understanding of what's going on here. And I think that it had opened for us the understanding of the abundance of social life, Jewish life that is out here and is happening, and how can we really connect to that, be part of that, and maybe leverage the Israeli community's network, love of Israel, talent, passion with the local community, with the local Jewish community, and see what can we achieve together. And that has inspired me with the initiative that I'm part of, together with other members in the community, initiative of the pro-Israeli academics in Boston. We've established a forum of over 150 academics who are passionate about Israel, who care deeply about Israel. And our mission statement is we want to expose the beautiful sides of Israel in the campuses around Boston, and to broaden the conversation about Israel. It stemmed out of a couple of conversations that we've had with friends of ours who were Israeli academics here, some of them postdocs, some of them are professors here, some of them even tenured professors, who on the one hand were reluctant to share with their students, or maybe not reluctant, but basically they would hide their Israeli identity. They wouldn't talk about their origin because they feared of being put in a situation which is uncomfortable, and we've seen that before in other places in the country. And on the other hand, we also understood that for American student that goes to graduate school or even undergrads, they come with not much understanding of what is Israel. They don't much care about Israel, and once they are exposed to the anti-Israel atmosphere and other activities that are going on in campus, they are exposed to that, and they gain a really bad reputation in Israel associated with something which is brutal, a war zone, whereas the beautiful sides of Israel, the wonderful achievements, the miracle of the states as a whole, and our pride as a startup nation, our achievements in science, in high-tech industry, is really not being shown. And there's only one very one-dimensional view of Israel across campuses. So we wanted to change that. And we started with thinking about how can Israeli academics around Boston, which we estimated at a couple of dozens, can showcase some of the examples of what's going on in Israel. How can they showcase that in schools, in classes, with even some of the activities that are going on in school? How can they show the beautiful sides of Israel? And to show that the situation is not one-dimensional, but rather very much complex and has other perspectives to it. And we want to broaden the conversation. And we've started to establish this forum, which we started with the Israelis, but after I was part of a G'vanim group, and I realized that the power of the Jewish community here is for us to really work together and to leverage this collaboration. After I realized the potential of that, we've broadened our target audience toward pro-Israelis. So we have both Israelis and also Jewish Americans who are passionate about Israel, who are sometimes also very frustrated with the way Israel is portrayed in the campuses, And we want to see how can we really break down those silos between the Israeli community and the Jewish American communities and create this collaboration and to leverage the infrastructure, the resources, and the passion of the Jewish Americans with our passion, our knowledge. I think that this initiative is novel because we're breaking down the silos between the Israeli community and the Jewish American community. And it might be unseen boundaries because we do interact between ourselves, but we have Israeli organizations or initiatives, and we have a Jewish American organization, and rarely does really people from those communities sort of cross boundaries. And I think what we're trying here is to create this wide organization and to leverage this collaboration and to showcase what can we do together. I think we're still exploring what are the benefits of this forum, but we already see the benefits for individuals and for the community. So I think first, people are not afraid to say they're Israelis. People feel that they're part of a cohort of Israelis that are connected, are supportive to each other, can share ideas, can share resources. People feel that we have a lot to be proud of. Israel has amazing achievements and amazing people who are very successful here and also successful in Israel and throughout the world. We can bring them to the campuses. We can arrange lectures, conversations for people to be exposed to the wonderful things that Israel does. And Israel is one of the world leaders in clean energy, in innovation in high-tech industry, in psychology. We're dealing with post-traumatic disorders. Israel is very famous with water energy, clean water, clean tech as a whole. So we have a lot of fields where Israel is a world leader, and we can invite people coming from Israel to share their activities, their achievements with the students in school. And so the students will be exposed to wonderful things that are happening. And Israel is not only a war zone, so they will want to explore more or even start conversation and learn more about what's going on. So when we started, we thought about organizing a dinner for 20, 30 scholars, academics from around Boston who share our passion to Israel. Immediately within, I think, 3 weeks, we already had more than 70 members in our Facebook group. We had people in our mailing list over 150. And tonight we've invited people for a gathering, a Sunday night gathering, and we were expected about 20 people, and we're continuing adding more and more chairs because many people are joining us. So at the beginning, we estimated that it's going to be a very small initiative, very specific, very oriented towards the campuses, but we were surprised to the extent of the interest that this initiative has gained in terms of academics, but also in the adjacent target audiences, for example, students. So we also have students, we have administrators, we have, for example, the Hillel organization, which supports us. We have high-tech researchers that are joining our forum and see how can they also leverage their knowledge, their connections with Israel, bringing people over here to the campuses and starting these conversations. So I think that every week we're surprised. First, we just started, okay? So we thought we didn't realize the extent of how much we evolved, and we keep on evolving and learning new things and having more partners joining us. More and more partners are willing to join us and having great new ideas. So we're exploring ideas of throwing a 3-day event in the university, a make-a-thon event in the university. So I feel like the sky is the limit, and moving forward, I think that I cannot even imagine where we would go in a few more years from here, because the potential is endless, to tell you the truth. And just to say that I'm a volunteer, I have a full-time job. I actually have a day job. I have 3 boys, and I didn't imagine it would take so much time from us. We are overwhelmed with the excitement and the activities that stems from this forum. So the success is basically to change the conversation in campuses. So when you talk about future, really the sky is the limit. We want to change the conversation in campuses in the Boston area. We're also exploring ways to do it nationally on other places around North America. We feel that we have so much to do, and we have wonderful people joining us. Everybody's so excited and want to do something, voluntary. So I feel that we can achieve so much more, and really the sky is the limit. So it's actually a grassroots organization, and the people that started this with me is Amir Greenstein, which is also my husband, and Mor Greenstein and Avner Golob. All of them are Israelis. And we are supported by many organizations, some of them Israeli, some of them are local Americans. So we're supported by the IAC, obviously, the Hillel organization. We're supported by Bio Abroad, which is the organization of all the Israeli scholars outside of Israel. We're supported by the Israeli consulate as well, and the CJP, the Combined Jewish Philanthropies here in Boston.